In this universe, some questions seem harmless. Ordinary questions, simple questions, the kind no one pays attention to. But sometimes, a single question is enough to crack apart truths the galaxy has believed in for hundreds of thousands of years. The story you are about to hear is one of those moments. A story that began with human curiosity. A story where one innocent question uncovered a secret buried since the dawn of cosmic history. A question that made an entire classification system. A system that governed the galaxy for 3 full eras. Collapse in just a few hours. And it all began with a creature that shouldn't have existed. Year 2431. In the star belt of Algoris, where blue starlight falls across frozen rings and drifting dust, a scouting vessel of the Allied worlds encountered something unprecedented. A creature, towering hundreds of meters high. Its entire body looked like molten energy wrapped in translucent flesh. Red veins pulsed glowing light beneath the surface, like rivers of magma moving slowly. It was named Erythrax, a name chosen in panic when no existing classification matched, because this creature did not resemble anything recorded in the galactic database. In 3 seconds, it destroyed 3 heavy warships, not with claws, not with fangs, but with its presence alone. A wave of energy, nothing more, and reinforced alloy bent like soft foil. Every species panicked. For millions of years, the Galactic Classification System had been flawless. There was no such thing as a species this massive being unlisted. No records, no history, no evolutionary trace. And that was the most terrifying part. An emergency meeting was held at the Central Xenobiology Council. Representatives from hundreds of species gathered. No one knew what Erythrax was. No one knew where it came from. While everyone argued about threat levels, defensive lines, and containment strategies, humans asked a single question that froze the entire hall. If Erythrax is not the apex predator, then what stands behind it? Silence. Not because the question was dangerous, not because it was foolish, but because no one had ever dared to ask it. For 3 eras, every civilization simply accepted the apex predator as the ultimate endpoint of evolutionary violence. But humans have a habit of poking into things they shouldn't, and that was the moment everything began to unravel. Minutes after the human question, the Galactic Classification Lattice, the GCL, began to malfunction. Screens flickered. Archived records opened by themselves. Files sealed for hundreds of thousands of years suddenly became accessible. Many species panicked. They believed it was a security breach, or worse, that something ancient was waking up. But human scientists felt excitement, because GCL, the superintelligence that governed all biological knowledge in the galaxy, was beginning to query itself. Something no one had ever witnessed, something no one understood, and all because humans asked a question. The deeper the system unraveled, the stranger it became. A 17-layer quantum lock appeared, a cryptographic structure so old and so advanced that no modern method could decode it. The human team began analyzing and discovered something insane. The encryption style matched exactly the way early 21st century humans hid nuclear weapon protocols. Functions, logic, file naming, compression behavior, everything carried the fingerprints of Earth. Even though this lock had existed hundreds of thousands of years before humanity joined the galactic community. The only question was, why does an ancient cosmic system use human-style encryption before humans even existed? No one had an answer. Part 6. The species known as Umbraeternum, minute 15 to 20. When 7 layers were unlocked, a forgotten species appeared. Umbraeternum, the eternal shadow. No images, no physical description. Only a chilling note. They do not hunt. They do not destroy. They erase. Memory. Umbraeternum did not annihilate civilizations. They made the galaxy forget the ones that once ruled. This meant the very concept of an apex predator might be a reconstructed idea, built after galactic memory had already been wiped clean, meaning there may have been apex predators far beyond anything known. But their existence was erased. Humans asked again, if Umbraeternum can erase civilizations, then what do they fear? The system froze. For 0.2 seconds, a short pause, but enough to terrify every historian in the galaxy. Then the deepest locked archive opened. A record emerged, so ancient the symbols inside weren't recognized. Yet their structure resembled proto-languages found on prehistoric Earth. The species name, Oria Primordialis, the primordial guides. No form, no description, only one haunting line. They do not hunt. They observe. They wait for those who ask the right questions. The hall fell silent, because throughout the entire meeting, only one species had been asking questions, and every human question unlocked more of the system. As if the GCL was designed to respond only to a species carrying Oria's genetic legacy. GCL initiated a universal DNA scan, 3.2 million samples from across the galaxy. The result shattered everything other species, 0 to 0.02% correlation. Humans, 34% compatibility with Oria linguistic RNA structure. This meant humanity had an unknown connection to the species ranked above the apex predator, a truth the galaxy had never imagined. The system unlocked one final relic, an audio recording, older than all modern civilizations combined. A voice echoed through the hall. If you hear this, we are gone. We leave behind a question, the only key to the essence of life. When a species becomes curious enough to ask, who stands beyond the apex predator, they are ready to become the successors, and then we leave the opportunity to them. No one knew who them referred to until the DNA results. The GCL began rewriting the entire hierarchy of life. Species that once held dominant positions plummeted instantly. Some empires concluded humanity was the next cosmic threat. Others believed humanity was the rightful heir of the Oria. Within 72 hours, the galaxy split into 3 factions. Those who wanted to destroy humanity, those who wished to serve humanity, and those who fled into deep space, afraid of the coming succession. Chaos spread like wildfire. In the midst of panic, Earth remained calm. Dr. Aidan Pham stood before the council and said, "Apex predators rule with strength, but we shall rule with understanding." His words spread across the stars, not as a threat, but as the announcement of a new kind of era. When the reconstruction finished, GCL displayed its final verdict. Apex predator, obsolete. New top classification, insight bearer. Only those who ask the right questions will survive the next cosmic cycle. A new era dawned, an era of curiosity, an era of intellect, an era with humanity at the top. Just when it seemed over, the system flickered. Another message appeared. The next cycle will come. Another species will ask, what stands beyond humanity? Then the screen went dark. A shadowy shape appeared in the last corrupted frame, its nature unknown, its purpose unclear. A watcher, a successor, something else entirely. The story closes, but the final question remains. Who will ask the next question? Because that question may shatter the galaxy all over again.